What's going on, drivers? I want to talk to y'all about something. As you can see in the title, it's TQL. All right. First thing I'm going to say about them is yes, they have some good brokers. We know that. And they have some good broker agents. We know this also. But on whole, they are the worst that I have ran across. All right. So, and again, disclaimer, not all, but if I was to get a if I was to get a call, let's say I had a few different brokers calling me, right? Let's say it was TQL, Pepsi, Coyote, so forth, so on. If I had to rule out which one is gonna be the bad broker, is gonna be TQL. That's about as simple and as plain as I could put it for you. Now, my driver, he had a good broker with TQL, sent him a handbag and everything. But on whole, they're bad. So let me give you the story here, or what just happened to me and why I wanted to share with y'all. And I've been wanting to share this with you about TQL for a while. So I'm gonna throw you a couple of key little information in here about what they do. So here's the story. I posted my truck up for a local load. Right now, my door was jammed shut. My blower motor's not working, and I got two big cracks on the windshield, so I can't really go nowhere. All right. Now, I was gonna sneak and run some local runs, so I put up on there I prefer local runs. And I was just gonna sneak and do that because hell, I need the money, obviously. But I'm waiting for a safe light to come out and replace the window, and then I gotta get the blower motor replaced. I just got the door fixed about 2 a.m. this morning. Just got to fix me and the mechanic. So I had a stellar week last week, but then this week, it was just a little maintenance and things like that. I mean, this is what happened. This is trucking. So, and I'm also put out a video about that week also. So, anyway, moving on. I get the phone call. Mind you, my truck posted for local, prefer local only. I get the call. Lady say, "Yeah, I see your truck, Davenport, Iowa. I got a load picking up a few miles from there, going from DeWitt, Iowa to Geneva, New York." So, shut up, chump. So I said, "Yeah, I'm not gonna go to New York." She said, "Why?" I promise you, I'm not exaggerating nothing. She literally said, "Why?" Like that's her truck. So I said, well, one, y'all ain't gonna pay me enough to do it, to drive through no New York traffic. Now, granted, it's upstate New York, so it wouldn't be as bad, right? But so I said, you know what? Go ahead and give me the details. Mind you, I already know this load. This load usually pay about 31, and anything coming out of the wit is usually glass. Sometimes they want you to bring the racks back. So I say, she says, well, it's picking up out of the wit. I was going to Geneva, New York. I said, what's the loaded miles? I already know this too. I'm just getting her talking. And she said about 831 miles. Okay. And she said, what do you need on that? So I told her, I said, 4,200. Bye. Hung up the phone on me just like that. Yeah. I told you I wasn't doing it. So now I gave you that rate. And the rate that I gave you is basically the rate that's saying, hey, I'm not doing it, because I can't do it. Especially now for the rate y'all want. Y'all want 31, I want at least 41 plus. Be, After toll, so forth, fuel, so forth, you guys know that rate just go down, 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 baby. So some of the things I run across with TQL, and I want you guys to look out for it. But let me say this first. Don't let them run your truck. You got a lot of these brokers out here that's bullying people as if they run your truck. And they don't. You run your truck. If they call you bullying, give them a crazy rate. That'll run them off real fast. All right. And on whole or in part, it's almost always TQL's brokers. Total quality logistics is what it stands for. So, and it's anything but total quality. I can tell you that right now. So, I'm gonna put it to you like this. This is what I think of TQL brokers, as my guys would say. Somebody said the video messing up. Um, anybody else? Anybody else having problems? I don't see why I'm like LTE at the house. Shouldn't be no problem. I think that might be on your end, pimping. So, at any rate, give me, let me know if the video's all right. Okay, thanks, Benjamin Duke. All right, so here's the thing. All right, so tell you some of the stuff that they do. Okay, no issues now. All right, so I just don't like TQL brokers. Never have. Now I understand that when I first came in, I had no choice but to deal with them. They one of the only brokers outside of CH Robinson's that allow you to run when you first start. In whole, they're not all bad, but majority of them are bad. So take it for that, or as you will. But here's the thing: most brokers probably wake up and they probably drink a cup of coffee. Brokers or broker agents, whatever you want to call them. They probably have a couple of cup of coffee or something, before they start work. But TQL brokers and agents, they wake up and they drink newborn baby blood. They soulless individuals. They work for the devil, Satan's shepherds. You know what I'm saying? This is what my buddy calls them also. He won't haul nothing from them. I do not like TQL. I don't care to run for TQL. You know, have I run TQL? Will I run right now for TQL? Yes, but on whole, no. I don't want no part of TQL. Why I can't get this off the screen here? Shit. All right, so they soulless. They soulless, as my guy would say. They soulless individuals. So here's another little thing that they do that might probably help you guys out. All right. So they might post the load in 10 different areas. They're not the only ones who do this practice also. They might post the load, let's say Chicago, Joliet, Aurora, Naperville, so forth, so on, and the load might be coming out of Racine, Wisconsin. You get what I'm saying? And they they just flood the board with their load. So anytime you're searching for a load, guess what you're gonna run across? Nothing but the TQL load. That's one thing they do. Another thing they do is they lie to you a lot. So for instance, had a broker spoke with today, no, yesterday. And I want to say this wasn't TQL, this was Landstar, but TQL is known for this. All right. She said, I got a load picking up in Galesburg, Illinois. I said, okay. She says, first come, first serve, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And I say, this is why it's important to know your lanes. I say, is this picking up out of General Mills out there? Said, yeah. I said, you sure it's 6 to 10? Because that is an appointment only facility. They don't load on no first come first serve. So the moment you get up there and you show up and you at that guard shack checking in, they're gonna see that one. I said, did this appointment get missed? and said, no, that's it's first come first serve. So I know you're lying to me now, and I've had this happen to me before. So I get up there, I get ready to check in. They say, oh no, this appointment was scheduled for such and such a time. Yeah, we're appointment only. You have to come back in the morning, and we're gonna have to get you rescheduled in, speak to the shipping commander, or whoever they have shipped facility shipper, whoever that works with the appointments and stuff, and see if they can schedule one for tomorrow. Now, meantime, you done drove all the way out there. Now your truck is stuck out there. So what you gonna do? Drive back home, or you gonna go? You gonna wait till morning time to see if you could get this load? And more than likely, you're gonna wait till the morning time to get that load. So that's something they do. They tell you that, oh, it's first come first serve, but no, it's really appointment based. And then your truck is stuck there, unless obviously you decide to leave. But most cases, if you're going out there at night, and let's say you're long hours or whatever the case may be, you're stuck there. All right. So that's one other thing that they do. One of the little tips and little bullshit things that TQL does. Another thing that they do that I will caution y'all to be very, very, very aware of. So what they do is you'll book a load with them. Let's say you book a load with them for whatever day. Let's say you book the load for them for Saturday. Today's Friday. All right. They send you the rate con. Everything looks right, and you go out there to pick it up Saturday morning around 8 a.m. What they do is and let's say the load isn't ready or the load get canceled. All right. You're not getting a total. I don't care if you drove 300 miles. I don't think care if you connected another load to get that load because it was a good load, because they didn't send you the carrier driver instructions. So any other place, as long as you got that Raycon, you're good to go. But with TQL, this is one of the little sneaky things they do. They'll send you that Raycon, but if they don't send you that carrier driver instructions along with that Raycon, then basically you don't have no load. Period. You can argue up and down with them. You can call their carrier management team. I don't. You do whatever you want to do. If you don't have that carrier driver instructions along with that Raycon is good as worthless. So you need both in order to make sure that you get paid. This is just something that TQL, again, only TQL does. So watch yourself when booking a load with TQL. And me personally, if I book a load with TQL, I don't typically cancel loads. But if I don't have that carrier driver instruction, and if I had to cancel any load on anybody, you better believe it would be on TQL and Uber. So certain brokerage, I just don't I just don't have no love for them, and TQL is one of them. Why? Not just because I dislike their name. It's just because I've been screwed by them multiple times. I mean, just royally screwed. Now, you can get your accessorial agreement together to make sure that these type of things don't happen to you, and you have that on file with them. But most of the time, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I'm doing carrier packs or I'm getting carrier packs done, I don't have time to do that. Most of us not. We're usually rolling down the road already booking loads. So I'm not going to be sitting up here. Now you could say, okay, get that agreement together before you get into business, which would be a, you make a good case on that one there. But on whole and in whole, it's not happening. All right. So I just want to let y'all know to be very, very wary, very, very wary of brokers like TQL. They will try to bully you. They will try to make you try to run your truck as if it's their truck. This is some of the stuff that they do. And just be very, very careful. Be very, very, very careful. Ain't that what they said on motherfucking Bugs Bunny? Be very, very careful. Because they will give your ass multiple lumps if you're not. So, again, short recap. If you don't get the carrier driver instruction with the Raycon, it means nothing. Specifically with TQL. All right. Um, some brokers are worse than the mega carriers. Church. Um, Also, don't let them bully you and run your truck or make them. Some of them call you. This is another thing they do. This is another thing. Then not only TQL does this. All right. So this is one thing they do too. They go, "Hey, I got this load. Yeah, it's a hot load, man. Yeah, it's going from here to here to here to here. Yeah, I see you got that truck. You ready to go ahead, man? Let's make this happen. Boom, 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 boom." Just speed talk, and pressure, pressure, pressure you. Yeah, so what? Hey, hold on 1 second. Click. All right. Hey, yeah, I'm back. Let's get this low, man. Let's get this move, man. Yeah, it's a hot low, man. This, that, and another. Yada, yada, yada. Woo, 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 woo. Yada, yada. It's going 1,000 miles. Yeah, we paying 1,500 on. Let's make it happen. It's game. The guys running game. They do this a lot, and TQL is not the only people who does that. Just because they say it's a hot load doesn't make it a hot load. All right. Just because they saying one thing doesn't make it what it is. And I always state this: even if it's short miles, get a good rate. I say for I always say this: your minimum rate should be the price of what you can get a good quality tire for. So if you go to Love's or Pilot, so forth, so on, a good quality tire gonna run you about 400 to 600. So I feel like your truck minimum should be within that range, 400 being the lowest. I'm not saying that you can't potentially run loads for cheaper than that, because you can. Let's say it's going 2 miles. I don't care, you know. But at least have an established relationship with that broker before you start running stuff like that under your truck minimum. If anybody call you, I don't care if it's to move it from one dock to the next, they gotta pay that truck minimum. Now, once we got this relationship established and so forth and so on, now we can probably negotiate on these little small hops that you need done, and I could work with you, because inevitably, what almost always happen, I promise y'all, with the short loads, I promise you, it's always something. Oh, this wasn't scheduled for delivery to tomorrow. Oh, we don't have you in the system. Oh, you got to call the broker. Oh, you got to wait 2, 3 hours. Let's see here, it froze up on you. My screen froze up. This damn phone, man. I'm trying to get a newer one, guys. Somebody talk to me. Can y'all still hear me? There we go. There we go. So, yeah, don't run no low, basically. Have a truck minimum, and you know, like I said, don't let them pressure you. Don't let them run your truck. It's your truck. Don't let them trick you. Know your lane rates, so when you run across these type of places, or they call you on a load, you already know what you're dealing with. They can't trick you and say, "Oh, it's first come, first serve," when it's actually appointment based, and then you're gonna be stuck there, and more likely get a layover if you're lucky, or be stuck somewhere sitting there where there's no truck stop, no facilities, and you're stuck out there. So, that's my advice to y'all, and I'm just passing this on the broker trucking industry. I hear you. So, and there's good brokers. There's good brokers out here. So, in, if I had to pick top five brokers, I'm gonna say Coyote. I'm gonna say Convoy. Convoy number one right now. That's my number one right now that I recommend, and that I like. They don't have a whole lot of loads, but Convoy is by far the best. They have the best app, hands down. I don't think anybody's messing with Convoy. In my opinion, that's my number one look to and go to. Uber does good when they're in a pinch. All right. But Coyote, Convoy, Pepsi, and anybody that's been running for a while, they know when they get a call from some of these people, or XPO is another one. They, especially XPO, they got money in that damn load when they call you. If you get a call from XPO, and what about Freight and Travel Local? I don't know much about Travel Local, but if you get a call from XPO and Pepsi, they got money in that load. I promise you. I'm talking easily $4 to $5 a mile. You can do it. You can get it out of them. So if I see they number pop up, immediately I'm excited. Immediately I'm excited because I know they got something good. Now sometimes they have some crap they just trying to move, but for majority of the times they got it. So if I had to throw out a top five, that's who it's going to be: Convoy, Pepsi. You have again XPO, Coyote, and there's a few other ones out here, and there's some real small ones too. Some real small ones based out of New York, and they usually run around this time of the year too, around peak mail time. Smaller companies that, man, pay extremely well. So they're not as big as the Coyotes and the XPOs, but they pay extremely well. So I can't think of their name off the top of my head right now, but they pay extremely well, I assure you. So it's some good ones out here, and I just want to warn y'all about this because they got me. I'm telling you this because this is in the beginning. They have gotten me. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, they got me on the carrier driver instructions earlier this year. They got me on that one. They got another buddy of mine's, same way. So they getting people out here on that. Her private trucking fleets were pretty good. Trying to think of some private trucking fleets. I've gotten a few loads from private trucking fleets, and yeah, they could do. I think I did LCS or LCS or something like that. But that's only when they're in a pinch because they got their own drivers that can handle that stuff. So most of the time they're only gonna do that, offer you a decent rate if they're in a pinch or you establish a relationship with them. But for the most part, yeah, they do okay. They do okay. But again, like I said, I just want to put this out there for y'all. Just a little quick little tips, so y'all don't get burnt on these damn soulless brokers, as my buddy would call them. Well, mainly in part TQL, and you do have some other cheap brokers. CH Robinson can be hit and miss. I got a good broker with CH Robinson, and they just hit and miss. So I can't speak too much on them, but for the most part, I will not call on a CH Robinson load. Very rarely, very rarely. I would let them call me. And usually, if they calling me, usually they offering a better deal or a better price. So, but yeah, just watch out for some of these brokers, man. Um, they got their little slick games and stuff. I got into a little debate with one broker one time down in Decatur, Illinois. And he was frustrated, and I was frustrated. I was tired, but I'm still trying to book a load, and he wanted me to go to. He was trying to have me deadhead like 100 something miles, which I don't care. I deadhead 200-300 miles if the price is right, but the price wasn't right. And I just wasn't having it. And we went back and forth, and it just so happened I didn't at that time. Usually I wouldn't have time to entertain it, But at that particular time, I did have time to entertain him because I was frustrated and I wanted to give him a piece of my mind. And I guess he wanted to give me a piece of his mind. We were at it for about 8 minutes going back and forth. He thought, well, you damn drivers, you post your truck up in the wrong places. You don't know the equipment that you have. You say that you're 5 miles away. You're over 50 miles away, or we might post your truck. This is what he was saying to me. We'll post a load for Chicago, Illinois, and you guys will be sitting right there in, let's say, Alsip, Illinois, which is 5 miles away, or 20 miles away, but you won't take the load. But the moment we offer you $50 to drive 5 miles and pick up the load, you take the load. It was just going back and forth, back and forth. I said, man, I don't know what carriers or drivers you're dealing with, but I don't do none of that. So if I post my truck up, I'm there and I'm in that area. Two, I don't mind deadheading. And three, you're not gonna bully me or force me to take something that I don't want to take. If I don't go there, I don't go there, period. And there's reasons I don't go certain places. There's reasons why I try to stay away from Chicago. Last time I got truck wrecked up there. Another time I was stuck in traffic for 7 to 8 hours. So I don't care what it's paying, it's not worth it at the end of the day. And be, for the headache or what might happen. You might go up there thinking you're doing real good because you got a $3 a mile load and you get stuck up there the whole day. But if you just ran the opposite direction with a little bit more miles, you could have did that load and picked up something else. So this there's situations like that. I had another story too. I was trying to think about that I wanted to tell y'all about that happened with me here. If it don't come to me, I'll tell you in another video. But they just, man, it can be nerve wracking. And my driver would tell you this. It can be nerve wracking dealing with some of the brokers, and not all, but in most part, majority of my brokers that I deal with, I have about five, and majority of them are all females. And I got two guy brokers. Yep, but majority, and I'm starting to see that a lot too. It's a lot more female brokers than it is anything. I'm seeing that's seemed to be the trend anymore. And but keep your eyes open out here, drivers, and be aware, because like I said, they don't have your best interest in heart. I assure you they don't. They could care less. Once they gonna blow you up your phone about 20, 30 times to make sure you there to pick up that load, this, that. Even though they got your phone tracking, they got macro point, all of this stuff going, they still gonna call you 30 times. That's another reason I don't like calling TQL. You get a gazillion check calls, where other brokers you may only get one before you pick up or once you load it, then one before you deliver, and then after you deliver, and maybe one in between. With TQL, you looking at a minimum of 5 to 8 check calls. That's just a minimum. And I've ran into situations to where it had gotten even worse than that. Man, I got some stories that's just nightmare, but I ain't gonna bore y'all all day about it. I just really wanted to stress, I really wanted to convey to y'all, be careful when dealing with TQL. Be very, very careful. Not all, but in let's say if we're talking numbers out of 10, I'm gonna say, in my experience, 6 to 7 out of 10. And here's the thing: you're not necessarily dealing with the broker with TQL. You're agents in most cases. So usually that load's gonna require. It's just very rare that you speak to the actual broker in TQL, and you usually know when you are speaking to one. They usually are. They're usually easier, for me at least, to work with. So just like they say, it's easier to work with the driver and dispatcher versus just dealing with the dispatcher. All right. So I just wanted to warn y'all about that. Be very, very careful. Very, very careful. And I'm not saying it for no other reason than to warn y'all because they have gotten me plenty of times on plenty of other scams that I forgot. But they will burn you out here. They will burn you. And even if you're running or got your truck leased on to another company and you're not booking your loads directly, but the company is booking that load, and you know that it's through TQL, again, be very, very careful. Pay attention. Make sure you have everything that you need from them because they will get you if they could. So I'm gonna get on up off of here, man. Unless y'all got some questions, and let's see here. All right, here. I don't see no questions up on here. So you too severe. You take it easy, Pimpin. So again, just be careful out here, drivers. Be careful, all right. Don't let them stick it to you. You know it's they treat us like the scum of the earth out here. I promise you. Nobody like the truckers. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. So we doing a thankless job, and any damn day out here you can lose your life, and we just had a driver lose his life here recently, man. Hit a hit a school bus. Um, his school bus broke both arms, airlifted up out of there. I was just reading about it, but the driver who was right behind him, 150 feet away, saw the whole thing take place, and that guy's dead. So I think it was two people dead in Bloomington, Illinois. So you can look it up. These are facts. So, and I mean, I'm not telling y'all nothing new. This is stuff we drive past and see every day. Every day we in Chester. It's a huge risk of losing your life. I was driving on ice not too long ago. It just started coming. What can you do? So all you can do is just be safe, and again, don't let these brokers take advantage of you, and stay alert to these weather changes and weather patterns, because they do, and they know or something coming, and they might book you on that storm, book your truck for real cheap because they know they're trying to find somebody to cover that freight. That's another thing that they do. If you don't know that a fucking 15 or 17 inches of snow is coming, we got hit with 14 inches the other week. Truck was buried in, couldn't do shit. Had literally was digging it out for hours, and they know this stuff ahead of time because most of the time they're watching these, they watching and they know what's coming, so they preparing for it. So just be careful. Also be careful. Another thing that happens often with me, another reason why I charge that truck minimum. I had a load 86 miles. The lady was trying to pay 4. I told her no, minimum 550, and it picked up and it delivered to a farm. Required a pallet jack and assistance, and it was a bunch of breadcrumbs, and I had another one where it was a bunch of flowers. And I'm asking the farmer, I'm like, man, what the hell y'all doing with all of this? I mean, it had Oreos, Starburst, anything you can name. It's just a bunch of rejected food. You guys know you deliver loads of stuff that get rejected. Yeah, they sold a whole truckload of that dollars to the farmer, and he said they don't feed it to the cows. They said they fucking eat anything, and I'm like, man, your fucking cows gonna have diabetes. But but again, I got there. Should have been something real easy, real quick. Nope, not at all, not at all. Pallet jack. We had to chain it off. Um, Pallets, man, these motherfucking mutts, man. Let's see. That's who making all that noise back here. But yeah. So just be careful, drivers. Be careful. And I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all be easy now. Let me see. Make sure. Take care, drivers.